Hello, and welcome to another video from Pixie. Just a quick, really, catch up on a few things. I think for the UK, Theresa May is a good choice. She seems to be doing everything right, and it sort of rings well in what she's doing. And basically, like with the Brexit, she's not taking the first deal that's on the table. I mean, to be honest, I think if you're offered a deal and it doesn't really work out, the best move is to put in your own deal. This is what we want as the deal. And it also works with this old New World Order map where the world's all divided up. I think the UK and Australia and these other Commonwealth countries are under sort of UK control, and Europe comes under his one banner. I don't know if it ever happened. China's got its own banner. Nothing's marked to take over China. But if it's some type of elite, so maybe these elite are divided into. Let's see, you've got China. Russia's off the map, or not necessarily. Russia is the elite that take over Europe. So there's your 2, 3, and you've got America. It's 4. So it's four central pillars. Because before it's meant to be, let's see, there was 13 controlling factors, I think, or groups to the New World Order. So you got quite a bit of a bring down if it falls into like these four pillars, control pillars. Whether this actually happen or not, who knows? It's one of these things that just be smouldering in the background. This desire to create this new world government. Or world order. There's loads of work to do, and I think it's a case of also, it doesn't have to be a bad thing, just keep pushing towards the positives. Deprogramming yourself from mainstream TV and radio and stuff, there's just so much junk on there. There was something about making a Trump scarecrow, because I can't think of anything more scary, and all this sort of rubbish from producers on TV, on the radio. And the fact is, in the UK, nobody cares, because nobody knows Trump. They have got this false narrative of him being a bit of a loose cannon or reckless. Until you let the bloke actually get into the hot seat, you're not going to know what you're going to get, and everything goes through Congress anyway. So it's not. It's just a face. I mean, he might be quite resistant to change, but there's still a whole body of Congress and everything else that pull strings that you're kind of like the net. There's also the Hillary version of the future. You might be just ultra sort of female. Everything's twisting towards the female, but it might be more aggressive female types. But I mean, if that happens, the world, as you know, is going to change. More radical than you think. I think it'd be pushing for this. It'd be all this junk. Like, you've already got this white privilege. You'll have this stuff to do with male privilege, and or some equality stuff that will be fired out all over the place. So they don't say things like, not to sound racist, black impoverishedness. They say, oh, you're impoverished, so you're privileged, you're impoverished. It's a bit of a mouthful, but because it's just a load of junk, to be honest. Anyone goes around spouting things like that are obviously mentally ill, because everyone lives their own life and has their own traumas. Some people deal with it better than others. I mean, yeah, sure, in history, lots of bad things happened. Slavery is an economic tool. If people were taking it one step further and using it as a form of satanic abuse, sort of pleasures involved with that, that's a different topic, really. It's the same people that would abuse children, abuse adults, and do weird things to them, like forcing them into a religion, whipping them and beating them and stuff. But they get a certain pleasure out of doing that, being a bit sadistic. So this is just it's more a case of the Satanist side of mentality, and they might try to make a more liberal case for Satanism, saying it's about governing yourself and atheism and other things like that. But the reality is that there's a touch of there's a touch of it in everyone that we want to be our own god and all this sort of stuff. But you also will have to be kind of the balance of what reality is, and the fact of consciousness. Once you more consciousness and you deepen your understanding of yourself and being, then you can go beyond that. I mean, most of it's held within your heart anyway. It's quite simple. If you do something immoral or something, you usually have a feeling about it. If you try to ignore that feeling, you sort of you may see yourself as having a greater willpower, but you're going to be missing a greater sort of depth and understanding, clarity. You're never going to get to that other dimensions. You're just going to become more three-dimensional, like an Archon type robotic. You're trying to remove that side of it, so it's, like you're trying to become the ultimate person, but by trying to remove what you think is flaws from humanity. So with Hilary also comes from more transgenic type movement, demasculising the society. There would be more of this neutrality stuff, gender neutrality, and other sort of odd things. Films and stuff will be pumped out, which is already happening, where the men tend to be these more feminized type people, while the women tend to be these more masculine type role models that would be rolled out as like some type of ultra feminist hero sort of thing. I don't know. Maybe all this rhetoric I'm coming out with sounds quite sexist and unfair, and so that's one of the difficult things for talking about anything that's shaped our society, because it's that problem with not being able to do it as a person. Having a system set in place that structure us the way the elite want us, or these globalist ideas. But I think basically fragmenting society gives other groups greater control. So it'd be a case of, like, if I say, I'm a straight male, somebody will say, well, are you sure? And they try to re-educate people to believe that possibly it's something else. It's like a biological disposition. They may say that you've got a gay gene in your body. They make up so much rubbish. It's unbelievable. Like, you've got cancer genes. Don't be daft. Some genes are well, there is a chance of certain mutations taking place, but the reality is it's actually all the crap that gets put in the body through processed foods and the environment and so on that cause health problems. And it's encouraged, so it can be managed. It can be managed by medication and stuff like that, and just have people in this state where they're never well enough. It's a bit like stuff, I think, rolling out about Alzheimer's, a way to sort of halt it. They wouldn't want to stop it, they would like to halt it. It's so then that you can have people working to certain ages. Basically, you can get the maximum out of people, and then when it gets to the point where they're no longer any use, just get rid of them. That's this kind of weird society we live in. But we're constantly trying to change this narrative. Not everybody has these evil ideals. I think it's just people that are in certain positions of power. They have a need to after a while start to abuse that power. Maybe it's because the system's just not set up right. Exposure to a type of, if you create a narrative of control, after a while people start becoming hardened to it. Bit like, some people complain about nurses sort of being a bit kind of cold, rush in, do what they need to do and go back out because of the sheer volume of work. People stop being people and start becoming work, and then you start developing different ethics and way of looking at people. So yeah, all these narratives and sort of thoughts on these things are quite interesting. So anything else that's going to happen? Hopefully there might be some bit more disclosure on world affairs. I don't know if there'll be more ET type stuff going on in the future. I doubt it. I think it's just going to be this smoke screen that's put over us, this sort of haze. But at the moment they want to reform the world in their own little ideals, and work towards this agenda, and I can't see it happening for hundreds of years, to be honest. So just going to keep going across the same paradigm. They're trying to speed it up for whatever reason. It's just not working. People are too resilient. It's like a testing, really. You just got to stick true to your faith. I may be doing some sort of different type of project work. I may be looking at some books that maybe disclose certain levels of truth in there. Like how a society survives a sort of like martial law, how certain things, weird things are triggered, how I may see the future, and it's sort of and based on things that have already happened. Just look at things that have happened and then take them to an extra extreme and give somebody a picture potentially of what could happen. So yeah, this is Pigsy signing off, and thanks for listening to me.